Buffett once said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Hi, and welcome to the DKAW lecture. Today is episode 5, where we're going to look at the results, analysis, and discussion. Previously, we discovered that Warren Buffett has a very interesting investment strategy that we're trying to emulate. We're using these 5 strategies, which is equal, Monte Carlo Sharpe ratio, math Sharpe ratio, your minimum volatility, and your Buffett's normalized. Trying to figure out why his latest stock don't align with where the market is going, which is more digital and more artificial intelligence. It's more real estate. There's also home brand manufacturing. So it's just very boring businesses that are the complete opposite of artificial intelligence. So in the last 4 episodes, we've looked at your PE ratio, your price to earnings ratio, how much risk we're going to look at. But today we're going to concentrate on using your discounted cash flow for intrinsic valuation. So here's a little preview of the results that we're going to have towards the end of the video. And this is just a little snippet. We're going to look at developing an analytical framework for high-risk asset classes. In other words, our stock strategy is just we're going to watch the share prices go down. And then once they are in the negative, that is the best time we'll buy it. And then we're going to just hope that it goes up. And that's when we keep the shares in for a long period of time. We're going to look at historical performances for 3 different valuation methods, which is your asset valuation, absolute valuation, and your relative valuation from 2021 until 2025. And we're just going to forecast from 2026 to 2029. All this using the famous discounted cash flow valuation method that relies heavily on the revenue. Cell analysis, we're going to take, for example, Apple stocks discounted valuation. So essentially what I've highlighted is your sum of present value cash flow, meaning that within 5 years, we shall expect a total sum of $187 billion. And that is how much it's worth today. And then we can see that our present value of our terminal value is basically 640 billion. And that just tells us how much Apple can be able to sell it in today's money. And then what I also highlighted was your enterprise value, which is worth $827 billion. Now switching over to our Python investment portfolio analysis. Basically, I'll draw up a little Python code in which we are going to try and get the DCF valuation analysis tool, where essentially we're just going to look at the stock ticker symbol, and we enter the stock ticker symbol, and then it creates a DCF workbook that literally looks at your Monte Carlo valuation, your DCF, and at the end and it also has a scenario analysis of which I think it takes 100. Yeah, it takes 100 simulations from Monte Carlo, and essentially this is very useful in the sense that you have all the information that is needed in order to value a stock and to whether or not to make a decision. Because I think previously in our other videos, it's not enough for you to say that because your price to earnings ratio is over 20 and it's fairly valued or undervalued, it's not enough. The most important thing, I think, when it comes to stock analysis, you have to look at your cash flow. Many investors have said this So our dashboard results are as follows. We're going to be looking at two of our stocks that we've mentioned, which is Constellation Brands Incorporated as well as your Lamar Advertising. So with your Constellation Brands, we can see that our PE ratio is fairly valued as it's under 20. We can also see that with our revenue and profitability trends, there was a slight hiccup with 2023 in that it was more, but it went down again in 2024. Another thing we can see is our financials, that our net margin was higher in 2023 as aside from all the other years. There's also our balance sheet summary of which your total assets is high, which is good. Our valuation methods comparison show that our Monte Carlo average is the lowest, even lower than your pessimistic place, which might show that we needed more simulations in Monte Carlo. And so in that we can't really disregard the Monte Carlo valuation yet. But as you can see that here's our Monte Carlo simulation results. Our enterprise value and our equity value are very close within the range of 8% as your revenue growth. So I think if we did more ranges within Lamar Advertising shows as follows. This had the highest return, so we're just going to investigate the financials as well. We can see that our current price is very similar to our 52 weeks high. If you look at our valuation methods, everything is the same, but your current price exceeds all of the cases that we have, meaning that the share is currently overpriced by the market, meaning it's been selling more than what it is worth, as we can see with our base case, and also we can also see with our Monte Carlo simulation results, it's extremely higher than the 95th percentile, in that there's a 95% chance that it is in that range of that price. And then from here, we can also see that your financial metric center, your dividend yield is at 481%, but your volatility is extremely high. And we can see with your risk measurements, your valuation risk is at 95%, meaning that it's a very unstable stock to purchase as of the moment. But the higher the risk, the higher the reward. I think what Buffett did is that he purchased currently 2% of this stock, but in the future, he'll probably purchase more when the price does go down, in order to get as much value as he can and be able to hold the stock for longer periods of time. So our final investment optimization results are as follows. First things first, I'm just going to do a quick run through of the different portfolios and their weighting. So you have your equal weighted ratio portfolio, in which you can see that everything is equal. This is one of the riskiest one, because essentially you're just buying the same thing, even though it has different returns for the CAGR, your compounded annual growth rate, as seen by the graph up there. Then we also have your Monte Carlo Sharpe ratio, where this one looks at buying all of them, but it buys accordingly to the annual performance. So the highest annual return will gain the most, but the lowest one you still buy stocks in it, but it will be as little as possible. Then there's the mathematical Sharpe ratio that looks at, because your Lamar Advertising had the highest return based on the historical performance, it's better that you buy all of it. Then there's your minimum volatility, of which we previously in the last episode came to discovered that he bought the highest in the Constellation Brands, even though it had the lowest annual return. So this might be the methodology that Buffett used in order to buy his stock. And here's the normalized way using Buffett's stocks, and this is basically what we're going to look at. And we can see that your Lamar, you only bought 2%, but your minimum volatility suggests that you buy roughly 28%. All of the portfolios against the S&P 500 as a benchmark, return, your portfolio Sharpe ratio, and your volatility. First things first, we're going to look at your 5-year historical prices. We can see all of them started from the same point, but 4 out of the 6 stocks went up, but Constellation and your pool down. So what I found interesting is that your average percentage raw return so far in the calls, we can see that Lamar Advertising had the highest return, but it's actually Nucor, and which is quite interesting. And also we did a little A and B testing between 4 of the different portfolios. So we did Buffett and minimum volatility, as we saw the fact that minimum volatility could have been the strategy he used to purchase his latest stock. But you can see that the returns are similar, volatility is similar, but minimum volatility wins because of your Sharpe ratio that was 0.142 instead of the 0.097. In other words, your minimum volatility portfolio rewards you more simply because you purchasing because of the risk that you are taking, as aside from Buffett's normalized. And then I also looked at your equal weight with your Monte Carlo Sharpe ratio, and I just compared them to see which is better, and your Monte Carlo Sharpe ratio wins because of the better risk adjusted returns. It looked at stocks were able to provide the highest return. So the sectors that we're looking at is your healthcare, your materials, your real estate, your consumer staples, and your consumer discretionary. And you can see that your highest CAGR, your compound annual growth rate, was your materials, which is found in Nucor, and your highest negative CAGR was in your consumer discretionary, which was your pool ratio, which is your pool stock. But we're more interested in the Sharpe ratio, which was also Nucor. We also have your beta as well. Anything over 1 means it's overvalued. And out of all these strategies, we're going to look at what is the best in all of them. Your highest return was your Monte Carlo Sharpe ratio with a return of 21.79%. Your best risk adjusted return was your Monte Carlo Sharpe ratio, which is 0.546. Your lowest volatility is your mathematical Sharpe. Your smallest drawdown was your mathematical Sharpe. Your highest dividend was mathematical Sharpe, and your most balanced, which makes sense, was actually equal weight. But comparing with your S&P 500, your complete portfolio comparison with your S&P 500, anything that's red means it's less than, anything that's green means it's more than. So in conclusion, thank you for visiting our scientific investment Buffett analysis. Stay tuned for more.